The only way I can compare what happened, it was like a movie scene where someone is in the studio recording, they leave the studio and it's on the radio, and then the next thing you know, it's on TV, and the next thing you know, you're on a world tour.
A Canadian newcomer by the name, I'm sure you know her, Avril Lavigne.
Ashley Simpson, everybody. Give it up now for Fefe Dobson.
The first single is called Potential Breakup Song.
She's our favorite little rock star. Say hi to Michelle Branch.
There were a lot of girls on the scene during the early 2000s.
We're lucky that we got to be a part of that era.
Pop rock, I don't even know if it exists anymore.
Not only are there more singer-songwriters, even in popular music, but they're female, and not only that, they're really young, which I find, I'm like, this is something. There's something here. I'm not sure what it is. Do you get a sense that you're part of a change, and is that a good thing, or?
Yeah, I think I'm different from what's been out there for a while, definitely.
We were we were like, I can roll with the guys and I can crush on them, but I can also like hang out with them and kick their butts and stuff, so it was a cool time.
I think the early 2000s introduced pop as kind of a dance space. You know, you had Christina Aguilera, you had Britney Spears, a lot of pop elements on stage involved dance, and that was one thing Aly and I were like, we're not gonna become
no
dancers
dance,
on
no
stage.
dance.
When I was meeting with people in the industry, they'd be like, yeah, you know, do you dance? And they didn't mean like ballet dancing. They meant like, would you mind like if you danced with like backup dancers and like did the whole thing? Like, I was like, no, I have my songs. Like, I wrote these songs and I want to sing these songs.
They were like, these girls, you know, play guitar, play instruments, and then there's these females that go on stage and they're just dancing.
I have to admit, I'm not against pop, I love it.
Like Britney and Christina, you like them?
Sure, I mean, they're doing their thing and that's what's awesome.
They pinned certain people as being anti this or anti that when I don't think it was anti anything. It was just, you know, sensationalized by the media.
Avril and I are both from Canada, and we both came out around the same time, and I was like, how am I going to compete with this girl? She's so pretty, she's blonde, she's white. I'm this black girl from Scarborough, my hair's tight curls, I don't know what to do with it.
How do you feel about losers like myself here in the States that love to lump you into this sort of, I don't know what they've said, like a new Lilith group with Michelle Branches and Vanessa Carltons and all the young girls that are writing and recording? Does it bother you?
Does it bother me? No, not really. I mean, I understand that we're gonna get compared to each other because we're all young and we write our own stuff.
I don't think that was anything that ever came from all of us, because we were all fans of each other.
Were people kind of like being like, you're either this or this, like team this or team that? For sure, but nowadays I don't think so.
My next guest, who is an amazing singer and songwriter who's making her first visit to TRL and is going to perform, ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Branch.
To go from being a teenager who would race home from school to put on TRL to being on TRL in such a short period of time was pretty exciting. I mean, during that era, it was equivalent to being on SNL or something. It was like, you've made it. You're here.
You have a bit of a rock edge on the album. Are you a fan of pop music? Because there's a little bit of pop in there too.
Rock pop just made sense to me. It made complete sense to me.
Pop as a genre sometimes can get kind of watered down because, you know, it's coined from the term popular. And I think a lot of pop music has some really catchy melodies. And I think that you don't want to lose those catchy melodies when making rock-based music. So you do want to blend the two a little bit in utilizing those, you know, incredible hooks.
Pop rock has always been very, to me, very honest, and it has an angst to it, and I think that's why I gravitated towards it so much, is because of the female empowerment.
What we wrote about was, you know, just having issues with race, because my mom and my dad are a different, like my mom's white, my dad's black, so, you know, it was a hard thing growing up at where I lived.
They nicknamed me Brandy Spears because I'm a black girl and with a pop voice, and I guess that meant really a white pop voice. I never really made sense, and I was classified as the other. The first time I saw a Take Me Away video, I was at my management's office, and everyone was so excited. And I remember seeing it and bawling my eyes out and running and locking myself in the bathroom, crying. And they were like, "What's wrong? You're on TV, like, look at you, and you're beautiful, and look." And I'm like, I didn't know I looked like that.
It's an interesting love song because it's just about two people that can't be together.
The song was written about Justin Timberlake when I was younger because he was my biggest crush ever, and I had posters of him all over my wall. He ended up taking me on tour to Europe, so it was kind of like he did take me away. It was pretty cool.
And I want to show you all the signs out here for you. This does not happen with a lot of first-timers.
I'd wished when I was younger that I would be able to get out of my home life and live my dream and be independent and make music forever, and I've been very blessed with that.
How did you get started in the business?
Wow, do you have 5 years?
You know, Aly and I are two people that look fondly on our past as musicians. You know, we've obviously been doing this for a long time.
Number 9, Aly and AJ, potential breakup song.
You know, with the remix and doing the explicit version, that's kind of brought this whole new life to the song that's been really fun for AJ and I, and we've been able to rework it in a different way live that feels really good and fits into our set a little bit more.
We got along, we got along, we got along until you did that. No other one, it's just my stuff back. Till you get that, let me repeat that. I want my shit back.
We felt like, well, the aspect of us coming from Disney shouldn't be the reason why people are excited to listen to our music. It wasn't ever something that AJ and I were ashamed of. It was obviously a part of our success and our story and the whole reason why we have the fans that we have today. We're two sisters that are making music together and writing these songs from our heart to our fans. And that should really be the focus of the music. So I think at times we got frustrated by that.
I think that there's such a need for honest music these days, and for a true artist that really does write their own music and does connect to their fans.
You know, I think our music tends to speak to people that are the underdogs and sometimes the forgotten ones, or the like weirdos or whatever. And I think that Aly and AJ fans know that they have a safe space with us. And at least I hope that they know that. I feel like they do.
People say, she's like another Michelle Branch, or she seems to be like Michelle. It's like, people are already, you know, putting you like a noun.
When Everywhere was released, my life just went into hyperspeed.
'Cause you're everywhere to me. And when I close my eyes, it's you I see.
The first time that we had everyone in from Maverick Records to listen to the song, I was given this pep talk by my manager and A&R saying, you know, if there's not really reaction by people from the label, don't take it personal. We played Everywhere and the room was quiet, and the head of radio guy goes, holy shit, this song is gonna be a hit song. You need to play it again.
Michelle Branch, Everywhere!
It was hard to have so much success and then be considered like, oh, but you're young and you don't know anything. For instance, going to shoot the Breathe video, they had this like bustier and the skirt outfit they wanted me in. They wanted a choreographer. They wanted my guitar not to be in it. We got in such a fight that I left set. I think to this day, like, the director took his name off the video. I told him to go F himself. It was little things like that where, you know, how could this outside person come in directing my video and not listen to me say, no, I don't feel comfortable wearing that, dancing, let me play the guitar, this is my vision. That kind of stuff would happen here and there. And I tried really hard to stand my ground whenever I could.
If I just breathe, fill the space between our love, everything is alright.
My background is I'm Dutch Indonesian on my mother's side, and I'm, you know, Irish English on my dad's. I don't think I was ever even asked in an interview what my ethnicity was. The impact of representation and how important that was didn't hit me until I showed up and played in Jakarta in particular. It was such a big deal for them to see someone their age who looked like them on MTV, releasing albums, traveling the world, and now having a daughter who, is mixed race. I look around and I see the different people that she's exposed to, and I think it's really so important, and I'm glad to see how far we've come, and we still have a long ways to go.
I'm going to throw out some labels the press has given you, and you tell me if they're true or false, what you think of them, and why, of course. Angry. They say you're angry.
All that stuff's really annoying, and I don't think that I'm any of those things.
You
and
look right into that camera
and it's
right
just the media, and they don't even know me, and they don't know what they're talking about, so.
There's still a lot of judging based on superficial things, and I would like to see that change because it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure as a woman.
I want to see more females leading a record label.
Or in the A&R position.
Exactly.
Or even people that are in A&R positions that actually are musicians themselves, instead of people that are giving you opinions on things that they actually aren't really that well informed about, but they've been given that job title, and therefore they're able to dictate if this song is good enough to be on your record or not. And I get that those jobs are there for a reason, but at the same time, I do think that the artist usually knows best.
I have an all-girl band, and to me that's really important as a woman to celebrate another woman, and we need to be a community, and I think that's definitely another thing that's changing the industry is as females, that we're celebrating each other and we have each other's back.
There seems to be a shift, and there are a lot of kind of new faces that are singer-songwriters that are female that, do and write and produce their own music. Do you feel like maybe you have kind of opened a little door,
Girls have come up to us and said, like, you inspired me to play guitar or to start writing songs or to start a band.
That's really, the ultimate compliment, because I picked up a guitar because I was inspired by my heroes. So I think there was kind of like this generation of people who started writing and playing music at home because of what was going on in pop culture.
We've also had a lot of fans come to us and just say, like, look, I wasn't out when I first listened to your music, and listening to Into the Rush for the first time, like, helped me figure out who I am, what I love. It's okay who I love.
A comment I get a lot is like, oh, you helped me through my first heartbreak.
They relate and felt like I was a voice for them, especially for like Black girls. I hear that a lot.
Those feelings that we all had in that age of, 17, 18, 19, 20, those feelings don't go away. They're pretty universal.
There's a beauty to the aspect of nostalgia, especially during this year of, this pandemic. I think people want to feel safe and kind of comforted by what they grew up listening to. You open that time capsule up and you go, wow, what did I listen to the first time I kissed someone, or the first time I was driving my car and I had just gotten my license? Those are pinnacle moments that I think we always look fondly on. And for Aly and I, that inspires our writing for years to come.
Gen Zs, as you call it, can relate to that. And we're in a time where people just want to be free and just be honest and be real.
I think when things are very real and honest, they don't go and I think they'll be around. That will be around for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be around for a while. I don't care. I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna go away. I'm gonna make tons of records, keep on writing music and performing and reaching the fans.
People underestimate young women, but if you look, they're always leading the charge as far as style, as far as art, as far as fashion and music and film. And hopefully it's just easier and easier for people to be heard.